Actually, walking through the stage was a bit tensioned because I had never listened. There were so many startups finally that came, and they now called, okay, who is the youngest person in this place? And then I was not, and I was up around, and Caleb too was there, so we now came out to the stage, and then I said, asking, okay, the third person that came, so what could you do? That I am 8. So I was the youngest. If there was a 10-year-old, I was 8. Then and then I was talking about how I could do HMLCS, and they were happy. That's how the next year my dad called them to see if I could speak at it. So on FCCI, I was a bit tension. I woke up to the stage, my heart beat, because it happens to everybody, every speaker. Even Tony Robbins, the biggest speaker. You see Ora Kiyosaki come up and talk about business concepts. They all have that fear because of the audience, but I tried to overcome my fear, sat down, I spoke about it. It was a very amazing experience because I got to meet a lot of new people that I have never met before. People that were kings in the industry, in the financial industry, in the tech industry, and in the fintech industry.
Since he started coding at the age of 6, he has built competence in programming languages including Scratch, HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, Java, C++, C#, PHP, Unity, to mention a few.
I started with a markup language. So many people get this mixed up. Many people think HTML and CSS are programming languages, which is wrong. JavaScript is a programming language. Things like JavaScript, Java, C# are programming languages. So like HTML and CSS, they are markup languages. So I didn't start with a programming language. It was later, when I started learning programming, that I learned JavaScript. Things like that's when I was programming my games. I used C#, and those are programming languages. So I actually started with Scratch, which was like a drag and drop interface, which you could learn basic programming principles. When I moved to web, and that's why I learned things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I had plenty of projects that I created, projects that were like people. I'll call them useless because I spent lots of time on that, and it was just. You just see a banana flowing through the screen, you click on the banana, it will close and it will disappear. So that's how I built my skill. I started with web. And I'm still a web developer. I do more web nowadays.
For a young boy who has a lot on his plate, one cannot but wonder and ask how does he balance his life.
Thankfully, we were able to get a school that understood what we're doing. Now, of course, not every school would think outside the box. Now, because we wanted to actually eat our cake and have it. Now, it's not always easy to do that, right? But we were able to look for a school that could give him some time to go for his software engineering course. So the school allowed us to get him to come to school twice a week, and then the remaining 3 times a week he spent in his software engineering program. But that was based on some terms and conditions, that he will write all his notes, that he will do all the assignments, he will be treated like a normal child, and if he didn't get those things done, he would get spanked. So we had to fulfill all the terms and conditions. Now, it wasn't that easy. So it's quite difficult for a young child to be able to focus. But what we do is that for every moment in time, we remind him of the rewards ahead.
Upon coming into the school, registering in the school, we discovered that he's a very intelligent boy, and also a boy with some special skills aside pure academic, that is writing of notes, listening to lessons. He has some other special skills, especially in IT. We discovered that in him, and we have started everything possible to ensure that that is our nest, and that he actually comes out top and in that area of his skill, a boy of his age could do. We used to feel that this particular thing is only the adults that can really achieve this feat, and to see a boy of his age and level in academic doing such a thing, it was really amazing and exceptional.
The first official task he did was to build a website for his school, and since then he has a couple of games and apps to his credit.
So it took a lot of time to make this, so it was made in 3 months. So my first website I uploaded online. This is the about page, or Then you have, so this is my vision statement, this is my mission statement. All the information from the school is about the school is neglected into that place. My internet is kind of slow, so the pictures.
The death of his aunt inspired him to design a health website.
The idea was brought up when my auntie, she passed away due to breast cancer, and that was because of the late diagnosis of the disease a few years ago. It really helped me, and I thought, okay, it wasn't a way for people to find out, okay, if they have this, or to find out, okay, and then when they can so that they can prevent having or getting those diseases.
For a boy of his tender age, it is normal to sometimes call the support of his family.
You're just tired and frustrated, like, oh my gosh, I still have assignment. I said, you have to do it. Your classmates only have one thing they are doing. You have other things. By the time you are done, you would have gained so much more than your classmates. So look at the goal ahead of you. So when we keep on giving him those hopes, telling him about the future ahead, it helps him to gain the strength to do all that he has to do. So it's difficult, but he tries.
Young Joshua Agboola is a boy of many colors. He is a lover of music and he plays the piano.
I got to know Josh was through a conference. I mean, I was like, who is this 8-year-old who the whole media was just raving about? So I decided to, to pry further and see how I can get as closer to him as possible. So I was just discussing with my friend after that conference. So he was like, oh wow, I know his sister. So that was when we got talking, and coincidentally, the place where he studied software engineering is also the same place where I'm also studying. So that was how I got to know about him, through the conference and then some media publications. He's everything that every parent would want to, a child, every parent would want to have. He's humble. He's a very good listener, and then he has so much gratitude inside of him. Every little thing you do for him is always like, thank you so much, I appreciate you. I mean, as for his age, someone with so much gratitude and depth is something that is, is exemplary, and I think everybody should be able to emulate such character and then the attitude to which you approach life to it as well.
Josh is a good guy. I mean, he's a smart guy, really, really smart. I mean, the first time I got to know him was in my class, and very confident guy. Asking some very, very pointed questions that, I mean, you won't expect of someone his age and stuff. But it's good. I mean, if he keeps on that path and puts in the work, especially put in the work, I'm sure he's going to really, really go far. He's a good guy. I mean, respectful, humble. I mean, he has not allowed what's or where he is get into his head so far. So, he's a good guy. I think he will go places with time.
I have had a lot of work to do. Sometimes my dad is trying to focus on me, because kids have a nature of wanting to play. Kids have a nature of not trying to focus on their work. Kids have a nature of getting their parents angry most of the time. And to be able to excel in a space where not many children are, there's work. Even if you succeed, because you know what they say, the result of work is more work. So I had to spend some time that I could not play with my brother, because anytime I get home like this, me and my brother, we are able to go and scatter the building, finish everywhere, throw our bags everywhere, jump, play ball, play football, finish everywhere. But doing this taught me that there's power in focus. There's power in putting your mind in something, even if it's not play, even if it's not something that's fun or something that's great. Doing this has taught me how to manage my time, how to know, okay, this is your priority at each time. It has even helped me even dealing with normal life issues because learning time management is one of the key skills that every kid needs to know. And doing this, it has been stressful. So there was a time I didn't sleep because I was working on the bridge app 2 a.m. with my party that we were building the app lesson, and we were building the app together. I would sleep until 3 a.m. It was a long time. That's been stressful nights. During that week, it was my exam week, and I didn't know how I would be able to focus on all my stuff. I didn't know. Okay, I had to read for my exam, and I had to create this app. I had to put it. I worked for some time. I want to go and play. I said, but you have to finish this stuff. So it's really worth the while, and I'm moving because I'm not yet reached where I want to be as a real base. And remember, never stop learning.
Indeed, the world is a global village, and the likes of Joshua are not only scattered in Nigeria, they are also everywhere in Africa. The big question therefore are, how can these young gurus be discovered? How best should their inventions and technological innovations be tapped into? And how can these young chaps be encouraged to fit into the ever-evolving technological space? We need more of Joshua Agboola in our time for sustainable technological advancement.